Playoffs.
89,
We're talking about playoffs. We're in June, man.
89.9% to win the division.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
98.1% to make the postseason.
You know, the interesting thing is that I remember at the beginning of the season, there's always going to be players that are going to be under criticism, under the microscope, and Eduardo Escobar was one of those players that got off to a bad start. He, it just wasn't great, and he's a spot player here and there. And the fact of the matter is he's a professional. So watching this morning, I went over to MLB.com and they have like one of these alternate broadcast things.
I watched the same thing. Very difficult.
No, I actually liked it.
Did you?
I liked it because CC Sabathia is in there, and I don't know who the other guys are, but anyway, all I know is CC. Yeah, Cliff Floyd. That's right. I'm listening.
Yonder Alonso.
All right, thank you very much.
And then there's some host that
doesn't talk.
That just sort of sat there and cackled a little.
I'm like, you could put Al in there at that spot and just let him sit there.
Yeah, and then what happened? Yeah,
right.
Basically.
But anyway, I was watching some of that this morning, and they were genuinely happy for Eduardo Escobar, who hit for the cycle, as you said. But Carlos Carrasco had 10 strikeouts. Another strong performance by him. And now that's 3 games in a row they've won, and they're 3-2 on this present road trip, which is exactly what we were talking about. They got to be able to do this and continue to do this. And the fact that they're hitting the way they're hitting, it reminds me a little bit of the Rangers when the Rangers first started this year, because as they got going and you watch their power play all of a sudden take off, you're like, damn, we finally got a power play. Now, a lot of that has to do with Adam Fox. There's no question about that. But we finally have one. Like, we have one of the best power plays in the NHL. And you're saying to yourself, damn, when was the last time that happened for the Rangers? Now we have one of the best offenses in baseball with the Mets.
Which is just so refreshing. And
especially after getting, basically shut out the first 2 games on this road trip in L.A.
And then them bouncing back in the way that they have the last 3 games. It's just so refreshing to know that they're not going to go into a hole in an extended slump. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing. I mean, you don't get to 89.1% to win the division by just being a normal team. I mean, the reason why is because they don't go on extended losing streaks.
You just got to calm down with that and stop using numbers like that.
You don't get to 98.3% to make the playoffs with just being a normal team.
I need you to jot something down for me, Al.
All right, hang on. Go ahead.
All right. Are you ready to jot it down?
Got my notepad.
Today happens to be Tuesday, June 7th, 6/7/2022.
Mm-hmm.
And Gio is already talking about the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to be talking about playoffs. I want him to be staying in the moment and talking about what you just talked about, staying away from the elongated losing streaks and having different players step up at different times. Thomas Nido one day, Eduardo Escobar another day, Jeff McNeil, Pete Alonso.
Let me explain
Brandon
myself
Nimmo
a little bit
comes
here.
through. No.
Did I say that they were going to win the division? I did not.
Al, did you jot that down?
I didn't say.
I did. I jotted down Tuesday, June 7th, 2022. Gio's talking playoffs already for the Mets.
Well, hold on.
And percentages to make the playoffs.
Hold on.
Right. And then
I didn't say they were winning the division.
In your folder. Put that in your folder. And now we got to remind us now when we get to September, okay? Because I just don't.
Wait a second. I didn't say they were going to win the division. I didn't say they were going to the playoffs. I was saying that the percentages are right now that high. That's all it is.
That's
all I'm saying.
There's kind of a demarcation line in the NHL, and it's like Thanksgiving. And they say, if your team's at a certain spot in the NHL in their respective divisions, they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Rangers were in that spot. And I wasn't. People like you that don't understand how this whole thing works and just the spiritual nature of it, because I know you're not a spiritual person.
I'm a numbers guy, and the numbers are dictating.
I'm about spiritual feelings, and the spiritual feelings that I had around Thanksgiving, where yes, I believed in so wholeheartedly that my hockey team was going to make it to the playoffs, but I never guaranteed it. I didn't look at percentages. I never brought up percentages. I just had a feeling.
That's another boomer-forced hockey reference.
Yes, it is, and it's going to happen all day today because you can tell I have the feeling.
Yeah,
I have that feeling.
No, I know.
I have that
trust
feeling.
me.
I have that. I
I'm
wake
aware.
up and I'm like, I was up at 4:00 this morning.
Okay.
Ready to rock and roll. I put on my Ranger pullover, like you put on your Met
That's
pullover.
right.
You're
Yeah,
front
yeah.
running son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
that's damn right I am.
Yeah,
When you play well,
Right,
you make
right.
me feel good. I'm all about you. That's
Yes.
all it takes, man. I tell
Right.
you, like just like a relationship in your life.
Right.
If you're letting me down, you're making me feel like crap, I'm not going to return your text. But if you're making me feel good and you're bringing happiness to my life, I'm right there
You know
with
what?
you.
And the Mets are bringing us happiness, and we appreciate that. And
Yeah.
so the Rangers are bringing us happiness.
Man, your hands sound dry. Very
They're
dry.
They're a little dry.
You hear that in the microphone?
We have some of that.
It's like your roommate's feet.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
yeah. Dave Remington used to rub his toes
You're
together. when we
rubbing your
get ready-
hands into the
When
microphone.
we were getting ready to play Joe Klecko. And I thought it was a mouse running up and down the freaking inside the wall.
See how supple my palms are as compared to yours?
Yo, I'm a working man. Not
Yeah,
you. You're
really,
not.
sure.
You have no calluses, no nothing.
Oh, yeah? Look
Yeah.
at that. Huh? What do you think
yeah,
that's from?
yeah. That's from swinging a golf club.
Yeah, damn right it is.
You got a blister.
Yeah, blister.
You got
I
a
was out
blister
there
on your
yesterday,
thumb.
by the way, with my
That boy.
second lesson. You owe me
All right.
$65.
No, that's fine. I'll pay Bob directly.
Okay.
I'll Venmo his ass directly.
All right.
Just give me his Venmo, and then you don't have to pay anybody. Or do you
Well, I
want me
think
to pay?
it goes through like the county over there or something. So I don't know.
It
how
goes
to
through
do
the
it.
county.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Like-
he doesn't get to keep his lessons.
I don't know
You
how
gotta
it
pay
works.
him
They-
cash.
yeah. Well,
You
I
got to
don't
pay him cash, and this way he could just say
Stuff
he's on
it in
a
his
break.
pocket,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's on a break, and he puts it in his pocket.
Yeah, anyway.
All right. So anyway, I just think that yes, I understand the Mets are. There have been moments already this year, and the Yankees have had moments too. Not to be lost in translation.
You want to
here.
know the Yankees percentages?
No, I don't.
You're not interested
Well,
in that?
give me the Yankee percentages.
All right, the
Because you know what?
Yankees-
I don't really care.
The Yankees percentages to win a division, 71.4%.
Wow, not as high as the Mets.
But to make the playoffs,
Yeah.
99.5%.
What would that be if they decided to cut loose Joey Gallo? You think it would
I
go
think
up?
it will 100%.
All right, so here's the deal, and this is a Yankee deal now. The Rams know how to take care of their players. The L.A. Rams know how to take care of their players.
That's right.
They know how to take care of their foundational players. They know how to take care of, the best defensive player in football since he got into the NFL. He's 31 years old.
Yeah.
Not only did they give him a new contract, they didn't add any years onto it. No, what they did is they said, you know what? You're a 3-time defensive player of the year. You're an absolute menace to opposing teams. You make everybody around you better and their job easier. And we're going to give you a $40 million raise. And we're going to make you the highest paid defensive player in the history of the NFL. And you will be the first defensive player to break the $30 million a year mark. And that's exactly what the Rams did with Aaron Donald. Now, you and I were talking about this about a month ago, or, whether or not he was going to get the new deal. We knew he was going to get the new deal, and he deserved the new deal. This is what the Yankees should be doing with Aaron Judge. Now, I know it's a little bit longer, and I know that, this arbitration date is coming up very soon for the Yankees and Aaron Judge. That arbitration date should kick in a new long-term contract for Aaron Judge and the Yankees. And the Yankee fans should be happy about it, meaning that the Yankees have got to pay him more than $21 million this year. I mean, look at what he is doing and how he's doing it, playing multiple positions, hitting home runs, key hits, RBIs, average, great arm, great defense. I mean, you talk five-tool player, that's your five-tool player. And he wears your uniform about as good as anybody's ever worn it. And now, of course, he's got to lead his team to a championship. But I think, what the Rams do, they know how to do it. I don't know how they do it.
Well, they don't have any draft capital. They trade away all their picks,
No,
and they
but they-
somehow
but the-
figure out something with a cap where they can get all these guys in there. I don't know how either.
It's like they have like 5 guys that make all the money. And
Well,
then,
Jalen Ramsey, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald.
right, OBJ's not there.
He's not there.
They move things around in
What
that
about
less
Cooper Kupp? They're going to have to pay him, right?
Yeah, well, you can see he's already making almost $16 million.
Well, they're going to have to give him a
And they
new
brought in
contract.
Allen Robinson, big money too. So I'm just telling you that this is the Yankees. So you have to understand, sports is entertainment.
Oh, is it?
So like Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick, over $250 million already made. People want to go see that movie.
Yeah,
People want to see
damn right.
Tom Cruise in that role. And Tom Cruise probably got $25 million to be in that role and probably got a piece of the back end of the movie.
I bet you it's more than that, yeah.
So, he's a star.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a star, so
It's a
that's
legit
why.
movie star we're talking
Right, then you
about.
get the next Mission Impossible coming out with Tom Cruise. That's a star. You pay to go see a star. People go to Yankee Stadium to see Aaron Judge in a Yankee uniform. Kids are going and buying his uniform. Fans are going to see him. You have to understand that he is the face of your franchise. Now, it's a little different with the defensive tackle. I know that. But, when the game was on the line against the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl, who made the key plays?
It was Aaron Donald, yes.
Twice.
He's won multiple defensive players of the year. He's been in MVP talks as a defensive player. He is always out there. He is rarely hurt. And in the biggest of spots, he was making the plays in a championship
And the best thing
game.
about him, he's not a jackass.
No, he's not at all.
What he is, he's a leader of your team. He's quiet. He goes about his business, and he wrecks other teams' offenses.
I still have a cell phone number for him from many years ago.
Congratulations.
Should I write congratulations on getting the bag?
Yeah,
that's how the athletes, they talk these days with the when they get the contracts.
What's that now?
Getting the bags. Secure the bag.
Man, we come a long way. For us, used to be getting the Benjamins.
Getting the
Now
Benjamins.
it's getting the bag.
Yeah, no,
He get the
secure
bag. He's got the bag.
Yeah, should I write hey, congrats on getting the bag?
Yeah.
Securing the bag.
So his deal basically is for 3 years, and it's a $40 million raise. I mean, come on.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's awesome. It's 3 years, $95 million. And see, he's a guy that deserves it. And the fact that it's not a fugazi, long-term BS contract, he's going to see all the money.
Yeah.
And it is essentially all guaranteed, which is exactly what Deshaun Watson did with the Browns.
Yeah.
And which is complicating matters with Kyler Murray. It's complicating matters with what's his name, Lamar Jackson. But the Rams get it done, man. The Rams get it done, and they got a great player. They got a Hall of Fame player. If he quit today, he'd be first ballot Hall of Fame.
Oh, of course. Which is what he was sort of talking about to gain some leverage, saying that, I could just walk away. I'm satisfied. I got myself a Super Bowl. I got myself a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied. And they said, hold on a second.
Oh, that maybe Rodney Harrison was right.
Yeah, I do believe that I don't think Aaron Donald, I do think he still wanted to play, and the money was going to certainly affect that. But I do think that part of him was serious about it. I really do believe that.
Maybe at that moment after a 17-game season and playoffs and just your body beat up and everything else.
Oh, I mean,
everybody's miserable about that time. Even Aaron Rodgers is still talking. Every day I think about retirement.
Yeah, who was it? There was a Chuck Noll who said that the second you think about retirement, you're already retired.
Yeah, I don't know if
that was his line.
Yeah, but it could have been Chuck Noll, could have been
whoever.
Bud Grant, could have been John Madden.
I could have gotten it out of a fortune cookie. Who knows?
Whatever.
But I remember seeing that at some point.
Well, I don't necessarily know that that's right, especially with the money that's being paid. And now you see that the Broncos are going to get sold for $4.5 billion. If that, in fact, is true, and I think it's Rob Walton from the Walton.
Anybody else smell that Sports Minute of cooking? Sports Minute on the stove, everybody?
Could be. But you know what's interesting about that? What's interesting about that? I can taste it.
I can actually taste this one. I can because you just gave me a what's interesting about it. So now I can taste it.
All right. So what is interesting about it? Can you tell me what's interesting about it? Did you do a deep dive
into the Walton Air? No, I have
not. And what he's paying for the Denver Broncos, $4.5 billion. At least that's what's been reported.
Yeah,
you know what's interesting about that?
I don't. I guess I'm going to have to wait for the Sports Minute.
Well, I'll tell you right now, and then you can hear the Sports Minute later.
Okay.
Back in 1998, remember when John Madden was given the opportunity to own part of the Madden video game?
Absolutely.
And he turned it down and he took the cash because you know why? Because he's a maniac head coach.
So it's a legendary story.
Yeah, I know. It's all about money right now. Just give me money. I don't believe that this is going to be any good.
Cash.
Right.
Give me cash.
So I don't think it's going to be any good. So, I'm going to pass on getting a piece of ownership. I'm just going to take the money.
Yeah.
Well, back in 1998, the great John Elway had a chance to buy 20% stake in the Denver Broncos. Pat Bowen wanted to offer him a 20% stake. And that 20% stake would have cost John Elway at the time $15 million. and he balked at it and decided not to do it. Had he bought his 20% for $15 million back in 1998,
Be worth almost $1 billion now, right?
he'd be worth between 800 and 900 million. Would be his portion of the proceeds of the sale of the Denver Broncos.
What an idiot!
Not an idiot. I mean, like everybody's life is in a different situation, different area. And by the way, 98. I feel like he was just starting to run. If I remember, the Denver Gold. When did he retire?
After the 99
Oh, it was after 90. All right. So in the early 2000s, he was running their indoor arena league.
Yeah.
I think it was the Denver Gold. I think.
Okay.
I think. Or the whatever. But anyway, and that's where he learned kind of how to run a football team. And then, of course, they hired him as the general manager.
He's still doing okay for himself. He's not doing like
he's doing great. But man, could you imagine
$900 million?
That'd be like hitting the lottery, dude.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. Even better than hitting the lottery.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.